Remember, not every story ends when the video does.
The novel had no author's name on the spine. Marcus Webb found it on a Tuesday, tucked between two bricks on his front doorstep like something the city had coughed up. The cover was plain black leather, worn soft as skin at the edges, and embossed in faded gold lettering were 3 words. A man reads. He almost left it there. He should have left it there. He brought it inside because rain was coming. He could smell it. That particular iron and earth smell that blew off the river 2 blocks east. He set the book on the kitchen counter, made himself a cup of instant coffee, and sat down to read while the first drops tapped against the window glass. The writing was uncommonly good, dense and close and precise, like someone watching through a keyhole. The protagonist, a man alone in his apartment on a rainy Tuesday, was described in such sharp, specific detail that Marcus felt the warm pull of recognition. A man who drank instant coffee. A man who lived 2 blocks east of a river. A man with a small scar above his left eyebrow from a bicycle accident when he was 9. Marcus raised his fingers and touched the scar. He set down his cup slowly, as a man does when he suspects the floor beneath him is not as solid as it looks. The apartment was quiet, except for the rain. He turned back to the first page and began again, reading with the careful attention of someone examining a wound. By page 30, he had stopped breathing evenly. The novel described his apartment, not an apartment. His apartment, down to the water stain on the ceiling above the bathroom door. Shaped like a running dog. It described the stack of unpaid bills rubber banded together on the kitchen shelf. It described the crack in the window pane that he'd been meaning to fix for 3 years. He pressed the book flat on the table and walked through each room. Bedroom, bathroom, the narrow hallway with the peeling paint. He was looking for hidden cameras. He found nothing. He checked his phone. No strange apps, no suspicious permissions. He checked the front door lock. Secure. He told himself there was a rational explanation, and he sat back down. Because the thing about a rational explanation is it feels real until the next page. The man in the story found a novel on his doorstep. The text read on page 42. He did not know yet what the book required of him. None of them ever do. Not until the final chapters. And then, in plain, quiet sentences that hit Marcus like cold water. He was not the first man to read these pages. He was, however, intended to be the last. Marcus's coffee had gone cold. Outside, the rain intensified, hammering the window in irregular bursts. He became aware, in the particular way one becomes aware of sounds in an empty apartment, that something had changed in the quality of silence behind him. He read faster now, his finger tracking the lines, afraid to look up and more afraid not to. The novel's narrator described a figure, never fully, never clearly. A ship at the edge of description. Someone who had been following the protagonist for days, who existed in the white space between chapters, who moved through the story the way a cold draft moves through a room. Felt before it is seen. He does not yet know that the man watching him has been watching him for 11 days. The book side. He does not know about the photograph taped to the inside of a car parked on his street, a photograph of him, taken last Thursday while he bought a newspaper at the corner store on Old. He will not understand the significance of the book until he reads about his own death. By then, the author intends it will be too late to matter. Marcus stood. The chair scraped back, loud against the floorboards. He crossed to the window and looked down at the street. Rain silvered the parked cars. Headlights from a passing cab swept across the row of vehicles, and for one brief illuminated second, barely a second, less than a breath, he saw a dark saloon parked directly across from his building. He could not see inside. He could not tell if anyone was watching. He turned back to the room. The book sat on the table exactly as he had left it. Open at page 70, nothing more. He told himself this was a prank, an elaborate, expensive, extraordinarily well-researched prank. He picked up his phone to call someone, his sister, his friend Daniel, the police, anyone, and then stopped. He stopped because he had thought of a question, a simple, terrible question. If the book knows everything he has done, does it also know everything he is about to do? He flipped to the back of the book, hands unsteady now, pages whispering against each other. There were perhaps 20 pages left. He read them. He read the description of himself reading them. The way his jaw tightened, the way he kept glancing at the window, the way he mouthed certain words without making sound. He read about the moment he would hear the footstep on the stair outside his door. He read about the pause, the peculiar quality of that pause, like a held breath, like a question being decided. He read about the knock, and then he heard it. 3 knocks, slow and even, patient, the way something patient has learned to be patient over a very long time. The man in the story stood. He looked at the door. He looked at the book. He understood then what the novel was. Not a warning, not a record, but an invitation. Someone had written this story knowing he would read it, knowing he would reach this page, knowing he would be standing exactly here, exactly now, with the sound still hanging in the air. Someone had written his ending before he had lived at the final page. Marcus put down the book. His breathing was very quiet and very deliberate, the way a person breathes when they are trying not to make a sound. After the knock came the silence, and after the silence came the soft, careful sound of a key being pressed into the lock from the other side. Marcus had not given anyone a key. The book had known. It had always known. Every word, every page, every ending